On Monday, Dominic Cummings, Boris Johnson's top aide, made his case to the nation for breaking lockdown. But rather than apologise, he insisted he had no regrets about his 260-mile drive to his parents' farm in Durham, nor the 30-mile detour he took before making the trip home to London. He said he behaved reasonably, but he's left many feeling there's one rule for them and one rule for us. So do you think if he'd actually held his hands up and apologised, do you think people would go, all right, fair enough, he had a point, there was an issue in the family, we can let it go? What do you think, Janet? Should he have said sorry?
Well, I read this article by MP Jess Phillips in The Independent, where she says that women are better at saying sorry than men. And I think that's basically a sexist point of view, because the truth of the matter is some people are better at saying sorry than others. Yeah. Some people might say, well, Janet's really hopeless at saying sorry, and they'd be right.
Yes,
I think... Thank you, Linda. Anyway, I think the fact of the matter is Dominic Cummings has got that mental makeup where he does find saying sorry very difficult. And I think that in his mind, he interpreted the rules the way that he did. Therefore, logically, because he's a person who's extremely logical, we know that, he's not about to say sorry. And obviously, earlier on today, Rachel Johnson was on telly saying, oh, well, if it had been me, you know, I would have said sorry. But, you know, expecting women to be more ready to say sorry than men, I profoundly disagree with.
I think that's quite interesting take, actually, Janet, because Dominic Cummings is a very educated man. He is a maverick and he knows what he's doing. And like now what the papers have done is actually shown the timeline of exactly what he did during certain times. Now, the thing for me is the power of an apology. First of all, of course, it makes you feel, if you apologise, it's actually owning up that you've done something wrong. And also, for me, the power of an apology is to say, I like my relationship with you and I would like you to trust me and I'm human and I made a mistake. So that is why I think he absolutely should apologise, because whether the public accept it or not, I think for me, it would make me think, you know what, I like that. I know it's difficult for you to apologise. I know it's difficult for you to admit that you were wrong, but you've done it. You've put your hand up and you've said, I apologise. I think he would get a lot more respect. But Janet, do you know what?
He doesn't think he's done wrong. That's the whole point, Saira. In his head,
Janet,
he has
how can
not done wrong.
But Janet, how can an intelligent man who is Oxford graduated, who has been very successful, looks at the timeline, looks at the social distancing rules and everything about it, and not interpret that he's done something wrong? That is not right.
Hang on a minute, Saira. He has a partner, Mary Wakefield, who is the mother of this small child. This whole argument is hinged around Dominic Cummings. Nobody has thought, well, maybe his wife was the person who wanted to make the journey. Maybe his wife.
Well, then he should stay home. He is a member of this government. He's the second most powerful man in this country, and they should be leading this nation in a time of crisis to show us what true leadership is about. And I'm really sorry, but that is not acceptable. He should apologise. Whether we accept it or not is different, but to me, it shows I'm human, I made a mistake, I'm sorry.
Well, I have to say...
is he's not making any difference to the amount of space that people are allowing for social distancing. What Dominic Cummings has done hasn't had made one bit of difference, because if you look at the pictures in the newspapers today and over the last couple of days, people trundling down to all the beaches.
That's not the point, Janet. The point is we were in lockdown and he should not have travelled that distance, full stop. He broke the law in that respect.
But he was in a car with his wife and children.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I feel sorry for him, honestly, because he's damned if he does and he's damned if he doesn't.
Why do you feel sorry for him?
I just do. I just think, you know, they were in the car, the four of them, going for a drive. whatever, not hurting anybody, self-isolating in the car so they couldn't affect anybody else and that.
But so many people could have done that up and down this country, but they were told you can't.
I'm sure lots of people have done it.
But
like
he
that.
is a member of this government laying down the law for people, and he's flaunting it while so many millions of people in this country respect it in despite of really horrendous situations. And I'm passionate about this because I had a friend last week whose father died in hospital and she couldn't go and visit him. And that is, I'm sorry, it's not one rule for one of us and another rule for them. That is not right. You don't do that in a time of crisis.
But do you think, Sarah, if he had have shown some contrition, if there was some form of an apology, not even that I am sorry for what I've done, but almost I'm sorry if I've offended anyone,
Exactly.
even that level of an apology, would that have made you kind of go, OK, it's a done deal. It might have been ideal, but I'm happy to live with it.
Do you know what? I don't know how I would feel about him because I'm so angry with him. But to come in front of the nation and just make up excuses, first of all, it's like you disrespect me, you think I'm stupid and stop patronising me. That's how I feel about Dominic Cummings. He's an intelligent man, and sometimes intelligent people make mistakes, and I was brought up with good manners, and that is, and I tell my children this, if you've done something wrong, you put your hand up and you say, I'm very sorry. Whether that person accepts it or not is different.
Your will onto someone who doesn't see like that, and it's never going to happen.
Well, then he should resign, because that's the kind of leaders I want. I want human beings respectful of other people's.
Maggie Thatcher was a prime minister who never said sorry. And Maggie Thatcher, in so many ways, was good for this country, and she also had her shortcomings.
Yeah.
I think you're projecting something onto Dominic Cummings that he just does not see it. I mean, you might find it uncomfortable.
Well,
Ladies, unfortunately, I have to say sorry and tell you all to be quiet just for one moment, because we do actually have to move on. It's clearly, look, this debate's rumbling on, isn't it? And it's got people hot under the collar, obviously.